And there's the bell. And here we go. This is the type of battle that you can show someone who's new to our brand of entertainment and say, this is what WWE's all about.
The thing about this match is I can't envision these competitors ever giving up. It's just not in their DNA.
Throughout his time in WWE, Elias has demonstrated an ability to defeat up-and-comers and veterans alike, sometimes with a 6th string on their back.
Look, there's no doubting Elias' ability inside the ring. I just wish he'd take up something like making model airplanes instead of live musical performances, if those qualify as such.
In a submission match, the name of the game is to make your opponent tap out from a submission move. There have been so many submission specialists throughout the history of this great business. Bret Hitman Hart, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, William Regal, and Daniel Bryan are a few who come to mind. And on the women's side, I think about Alundra Blaze, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and the boss, Sasha Banks.
Corey, earlier you spoke about a submission match, and one thing I'd like to point out is that a submission match is not necessarily the same as an I Quit match. The key difference is that a submission match requires the use of a submission maneuver. In an I Quit match, victory can be achieved by bringing your opponent to the point where they quit as a result of the overall punishment they've received in the match.
That's an important distinction, Michael, especially since a superstar can win an I Quit match by using the submission maneuver. For superstars who aren't proficient in submission moves, they enter this type of match at a disadvantage. It doesn't mean they can't win, but they need to perfect applying the submission move quickly. Come on, Corey, try and keep up.
We've got one of the best ever mat technicians in the ring right here. Guys, how can you beat Daniel Bryan?
Well, as you alluded to, Michael, you don't want to get caught up grappling with Daniel Bryan. He's got counters for almost any move and tons of submissions that he can apply from any angle, no matter how good you think you are on the mat.
He might have it. I want to go back to our Daniel Bryan strategy discussion from earlier. Byron argued that trying to out-wrestle Daniel Bryan wouldn't work. Corey,
impressive combination kicks. This just might be enough for him to take the victory here. He'd be smart to stay put there.
Painful attack focused on the chest. Oh no, this isn't going to end well.
Oh my gosh,
surfboard leg breaker. We saw perhaps the greatest one-night performance in WrestleMania history when Daniel Bryan won in both the show opening and main event matches at WrestleMania. Elbow drop. Drop kick.
Great athleticism.
Michael brought it. He's looking at it.
You gotta believe this one's over. Game, set, match. This one is over.
And here we go now. Elbow drop.
Piercing.
Oof. When this guy's on, look out.
The WWE Universe witnessed a classic submission match in 2016's Extreme Rules event. The Queen, Charlotte Flair, defended her Women's Championship against Natalya. The one thing I thought was unfair about the match is that there was a ban against the Nature Boy Ric Flair being at ringside. If Flair appeared, Charlotte would lose the match and her women's crown.
Corey, you spoke of the submission match between Charlotte Flair and Natalya, and I need to point out that this match was not Flair's figure 8 versus Natalya's sharpshooter. Victory could be achieved.
Oh, the yes lock is cinched in. Oh, it's locked in, the crossface. Here's his moment, Michael. When we talk about submission matches, we have to speak about one that, in many people's eyes, set the standard. It was WrestleMania 13. Bret the Hitman Hart was in a heated rivalry with a brash star on the rise named Stone Cold Steve Austin. This match started like no other submission match, with the two superstars battling in the crowd and attempting to use ring steps as a weapon.
Avoids trouble there. Byron, Byron, you mentioned the submission match between Bret Hart and Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. The rivalry between the Hitman and Stone Cold was so intense that WWE had no choice but to appoint mixed martial arts champion Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. The Hitman didn't waste any time focusing his assault on Austin's injured knee.
Steve Austin was busted open, and in the ringside area, it looked like a tornado went through. Once locked in the sharpshooter, Austin refused to give up. Stone Cold passed out due to the excruciating pain, which was considered a submission, giving the Hitman the victory. If it's not the greatest match of all time, it's certainly in the discussion.
One of the things a superstar who's competing in a submission match has to be careful of is if they have an injury or have been injured in the past and people know about it. You can bet in a submission match that your opponent is going to target that body part immediately. It's like having a giant bullseye on an arm, leg, ankle, or shoulder.
He's making a statement here with this attack. Byron, you brought up that a submission match can be especially dangerous for a competitor who's injured.
I think this is the beginning of the end.
Specifically targeting the leg.
This one's over, guys.
Let me tell you, that can cause some serious injury.
Whoa, he lets him out.
What a fool. He had him dead to rights.
Eludes that one.
Ooh, what impact.
He's starting to stagger a bit. With these two guys, we all knew this was going to be an all-out battle.
It's always a joy to see a competitor make a triumphant return to action. But Daniel Bryan's return in 2018 after 2 years brought unparalleled joy to the WWE Universe.
At this point, you have to figure that the next person to apply a submission will win.
Michael brought up Daniel Bryan's 2018 return, which to me recalled Shawn Michaels' return back from a back injury. He always stayed tied to the product as SmackDown Live general manager, and once medical advancements allowed, he came back.
And the outpouring of delight from the WWE Universe was matched really only by the delight of the WWE superstars, which is ironic because now so many of them are in danger of catching this running knee or feeling the yes lock.
Nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this guy.
Ooh, incredible.
He wants no part of the outside.
Looking for the finish.
He's teetering on the edge here.
A high-risk maneuver in the works from that top turnbuckle.
Daniel Bryan is one of the most difficult WWE superstars to prepare for. Corey, what would you say is the best way to counteract the leader of the Yes? And if he hits this one's over.
Over and over.
But he's running on fumes here. Does he have enough left in him to capitalize?
You can't teach that type of talent.
Let's return to counteracting Bryan's fervent fan base. Byron,
The yes lock is in. The yes lock is in.
Unreal.
What a crossface.
Wow, I'm just as surprised as you guys are. Talk about a painful move.
He had it locked up and made his opponent tap out.
and here's another peek at some of the more memorable parts of the match.
These superstars gave as good as they got, and these fans got their money's worth from the opening bell.
Here is your winner, Daniel Bryan.
You have to wonder what brought him out here tonight. Let's see where this goes. I think business is about to pick up. Inside the ring now.
Oh, nasty impact.
Vertical suplex.
Nice. This is what makes him one of the best in the business.
Wow. Now he's working that exploit.
To leave a mark permanently. He needs to capitalize on it now.
opportunity here.